"You can handle all 5 of us," said the beautiful women living in his inherited cabin. When Aaron arrived at the old cabin deep in the mountains, he did not expect anything unusual. He had traveled for almost 7 hours from the city, his small car moving slowly through narrow forest roads that twisted like long dark tunnels made of trees. The cabin belonged to his late uncle, a quiet man who preferred nature to people, and Aaron had only visited once when he was a child. His uncle had passed away 3 months ago, and after many legal procedures and confusing paperwork, the cabin was finally transferred to Aaron's name. The plan was simple. He would check the place, clean it a little, and decide what to do with it. Maybe he would sell it. Maybe he would rent it. He did not have any emotional attachment to the cabin. But the moment he stepped out of the car, he felt something strange in the air, like the forest was holding its breath. The wind was cold and carried the scent of damp leaves. Birds were silent. Even the sound of insects felt distant. Aaron pushed his glasses up the bridge of his nose and looked around. The cabin looked old but not abandoned. The windows were clean. Smoke rose from the chimney in a thin, soft line. Someone was inside. Aaron froze. His uncle had lived alone. He had no other family members, and the cabin wasn't supposed to have tenants. Aaron checked the key in his pocket again, wondering if he had misunderstood something. Maybe someone from the caretaking service was here, maybe a forest ranger. But the smoke, it looked like it had been rising for hours. He walked slowly toward the front porch, every leaf crunching under his boots sounding louder than normal. He placed his hand on the old wooden railing and noticed something surprising: flowers, fresh flowers. Someone had placed small pots around the porch. His uncle never cared about gardening. These flowers were bright, well-watered, and carefully arranged. Someone who cared about them lived here. Aaron lifted his hand to knock on the door, but before he could, it opened on its own. 5 women stood inside. It felt like the scene was from a dream because Aaron blinked twice, thinking his tired eyes were tricking him. The women looked completely different from each other, yet there was something unusual and almost coordinated about them. Like they didn't just happen to be there. They belonged here. The first woman, who stood closest, had long black hair and warm brown eyes. Her face carried a calm expression, almost too calm for someone who had just seen a stranger at the door. She wore a simple sweater and jeans, as if she had been preparing dinner or reading a book before he arrived. The second woman, standing slightly behind, had curly golden hair tied into a high ponytail. Her eyes were sharp and observant, scanning Aaron from head to toe, as if studying every detail. Her arms were folded, giving her a confident and almost cautious energy. The third woman looked shy. Her short hair framed her face softly, and she seemed to avoid direct eye contact. Her hands played nervously with the edge of her sleeve. The fourth woman gave off a friendly and cheerful energy. She smiled the moment she saw him, her eyes lighting up with curiosity. She held a wooden spoon as if she had been cooking when he knocked. The fifth woman stood farthest from the door. She looked the most serious, her expression unreadable. Her straight posture and the way she stood without moving a muscle made her seem like the leader of the group, even though she didn't speak. Aaron's heartbeat sped up. He didn't know who they were. He didn't know why they were in his uncle's cabin. And he definitely didn't know how to react when the woman in front, the one with long black hair, stepped forward with a gentle smile and said, "You can handle all 5 of us." Her tone wasn't teasing. It wasn't flirty. It was sincere, almost like she was asking whether he was capable of something important, something serious. Aaron's confusion deepened. "I'm sorry, handle what?" he replied, his voice cracking slightly because he didn't know what else to say. The woman with the calm eyes blinked, surprised by his reaction. The cheerful woman giggled softly behind her. The serious one raised an eyebrow. They shared brief glances with each other, like they were silently discussing something or confirming some unspoken agreement. Aaron stepped back slightly, unsure if he should stay or leave. The forest behind him felt colder. The open door in front of him felt warmer, but also full of unanswered questions. The golden-haired woman finally stepped forward, unfolding her arms. "You are Aaron, yes?" she asked. He nodded slowly. "And this cabin is yours now?" He nodded again. The cheerful woman clapped her hands. "Then everything makes sense." "Not to me," Aaron muttered under his breath. The serious woman stepped forward at last. Her gaze was strong but not unkind. "Your uncle told us someone would come one day. He said the next owner might be confused but would learn everything in time." She paused. We have been protecting this cabin for years. Aaron's eyebrows shot up. Protecting from what? The shy woman whispered. Many things. Things you can't see easily in the daylight. Aaron felt a chill roll down his spine. Can you please explain who you all are and why you're living in my cabin? The women looked at each other again, exchanging silent communication in a way that suggested they had been together for a long time. Finally, the calm woman nodded and stepped aside, opening the door wider. We will explain everything, she said softly, but come inside first. The forest is not safe today. Aaron hesitated. The words "not safe today" echoed in his mind. He looked around the forest, scanning the trees, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. The sun was lowering, turning the sky orange. The air turned colder. A rustling sound came from somewhere deep in the woods, faint and distant but unsettling. He swallowed hard. Against his better judgment, he stepped inside. The interior of the cabin was surprisingly clean and warm. A fire crackled in the fireplace, giving the room a golden glow. The smell of soup filled the air. It felt like a home, not an abandoned cabin. As he looked around, Aaron noticed small details: blankets neatly folded, shelves full of books, tea cups on the table, and personal belongings carefully placed around the room. The cabin was clearly lived in. The women guided him to a wooden chair near the fireplace. The cheerful woman placed a cup of tea in his hands. You must be tired from the long drive. Aaron stared at the cup, then at her, then at all of them. I don't understand any of this. The serious woman sat across from him. Your uncle was not just a man who lived alone, she said quietly. He was the guardian of this forest. Aaron felt his heart skip. Guardian of what? The shy woman whispered again. Of us. Aaron blinked. You mean he took care of you? Yes, the calm woman said, and now it is your turn. Aaron nearly dropped the tea. Wait, my turn? I didn't agree to anything. It is not about agreeing, the golden-haired woman said. It is about destiny. Aaron felt overwhelmed. Destiny? What destiny? The serious woman leaned forward. We will tell you everything, but you need to stay calm. I am calm, Aaron said, though his trembling hands disagreed. The calm woman looked at him with sympathetic eyes. We know this is confusing, but your uncle trusted you. And he believed you would understand when the time came. Aaron shook his head. Understand what? The five women exchanged one last look. The calm woman spoke gently. Aaron, we are not ordinary women. The room fell silent. The flames in the fireplace flickered as if reacting to her words. Aaron felt his heartbeat in his ears. The cabin felt smaller, the air thicker. He didn't know whether he should run, hide, or stay and listen. Something inside him told him that whatever they were about to reveal would change his life permanently. Before anyone could speak further, a deep howl echoed from somewhere outside the cabin. All five women suddenly turned their heads toward the window at the same time, their expressions instantly serious. The cheerful woman's smile vanished. The shy woman gripped her sleeves tightly. The serious woman stood up slowly. It came earlier than expected, she whispered. The calm woman looked at Aaron. You arrived at the right moment, or maybe the wrong one, but either way there is no turning back now. Aaron swallowed, feeling the warmth of the teacup despite his cold hands. The forest outside the window looked darker than before. Something was out there, something that made even these strange, mysterious women nervous. Aaron did not know what was coming, but he knew one thing for certain: his life was never going to be normal again. Aaron sat frozen in the wooden chair, unable to take his eyes off the window. The howl that came from the forest echoed again in his mind. He tried to convince himself it was just an ordinary animal, maybe a wolf or a fox, but something in the women's reactions told him it was not normal at all. It wasn't the sound itself that frightened him. It was the clear fear he saw flash across their faces. They acted as if they had been waiting for this sound, expecting it, and worrying about when it might arrive. The serious woman stepped closer to the window and stood completely still, looking out into the growing darkness. The cheerful woman placed another log in the fireplace, her hands shaking just a little. The shy woman paced slowly near the bookshelf, her eyes down but her mind clearly full of worry. The golden-haired woman locked the back door quietly, then checked the windows, making sure each one was closed tightly. Only the calm woman remained near Aaron, as if responsible for making sure he didn't feel completely lost. Aaron tried to speak, but the words stuck in his throat. After a moment, he finally managed to whisper, What is out there? The calm woman did not answer right away. Instead, she lowered herself into the chair next to him and looked into the fire, as if searching for the right words. The orange flames reflected in her brown eyes, giving her a gentle but serious expression. "Something that follows us," she said softly. "Something that follows this cabin." Aaron's confusion only grew. He rubbed his hands together, the warmth of the teacup fading from his skin. "I don't understand. Why would something follow this cabin? Why would something follow you?" Before the calm woman could reply, the golden-haired woman spoke from across the room. "Because your uncle protected us," she said, her voice steady but quiet. "And because whoever protects us becomes a part of something bigger than a normal life." The words made Aaron sit up straighter. "My uncle protected you? How? Protected you from what?" The serious woman finally turned away from the window. "Protected us from being found," she said, "and from being taken." Aaron blinked. "Taken by who?" The cheerful woman looked at him sadly. "It is not easy to explain without sounding strange." "Everything today has already sounded strange," Aaron muttered, trying to keep his voice calm even though his heart wouldn't stop racing. "Just tell me, please." The calm woman nodded and folded her hands in her lap. "Aaron," she said gently, "we are not here to scare you. We are here because your uncle trusted you. He believed you were someone who could continue his work. We hoped he was right." Aaron stared at her. "Continue his work? I don't even know what his work was." "You will," the serious woman said quietly, "but first you must understand who we are." The shy woman, who had barely spoken before, stepped closer. Her eyes lifted for the first time, and she looked directly at Aaron. "We are not dangerous," she said softly. "We are not here to harm anyone. We only want peace." Aaron nodded slowly, though he wasn't sure what he was agreeing to. "Then, who are you?" The calm woman took a deep breath. "We are the guardians of the forest. We protect the land, the animals, the balance of nature here, but not everyone believes we should exist." Aaron felt a small shock go through him. "Guardians, like stories or legends?" The cheerful woman smiled sadly. "Yes, something like that." The golden-haired woman added, "There are people who want to control what we are, and there are others who want to remove us completely." Aaron leaned back in the chair, his mind filling with questions. "But why live here? Why in this cabin?" "Because your uncle offered us safety," the calm woman said. "Many years ago." Aaron's breath caught. "He never told anyone." "He couldn't," the serious woman replied. "The fewer people who knew, the safer we all were." The shy woman said quietly, "We would not have survived without him." Aaron rubbed his face with both hands, trying to absorb everything. "Okay," he said after a moment. "Let's say I believe you, but what does any of this have to do with me?" The calm woman looked at him with gentle sincerity. "You inherited the cabin, and with it, you inherited the responsibility." Aaron stood up quickly, almost knocking over the chair. "Responsibility? I didn't agree to anything. I didn't choose this." The golden-haired woman spoke carefully. "We know, that is why we are trying to explain everything before you panic." "I'm not panicking," Aaron said, though his voice betrayed him. "Yes, you are," the cheerful woman said softly, "but it's okay. Anyone would." Aaron paced across the room, running a hand through his hair. He felt like someone had taken the normal world he knew and quietly replaced it with another one full of secrets, mysterious guardians, and strange sounds in the forest. He looked at the women again, noticing how calm they seemed compared to the storm inside his mind. "Just tell me the truth," he said finally. "What made that sound, and why did all of you react like that?" The serious woman stepped closer, her voice low. "Because it is a sign. A sign that the barrier around the forest is weakening." "The barrier?" Aaron repeated. "Yes," she said. "Your uncle kept it strong, but now that he is gone, it has started to fade." Aaron stared at her. "What happens when it fades completely?" The calm woman answered him. "Then the forest will no longer be protected, and neither will we." The fire crackled softly in the silence that followed. Aaron's mind raced. If the barrier was fading, then the sound from the forest was. "Is something coming here?" he asked slowly. The shy woman nodded, her eyes worried. "Yes, something that knows the barrier is weak tonight. And it wants to reach the cabin," the golden-haired woman said. The cheerful woman tried to smile again, but the worry lingered in her eyes. "That is why we asked if you could handle all 5 of us, because together we can keep the cabin safe, but only if you help." Aaron swallowed hard. "Why me? What can I do?" The calm woman replied. "You are the new owner. The cabin responds to you now. Your presence strengthens the protective boundary." Aaron blinked slowly. "You mean the cabin reacts to the owner?" "Yes," the serious woman said. Not the walls, not the furniture, the energy of the place. It is tied to whoever belongs here. Aaron sat back down, overwhelmed once more. He never felt special. He never thought he had some kind of hidden purpose. He lived a simple, ordinary life, working a predictable job, following a predictable schedule. Nothing about him felt like someone chosen to guard a magical forest or protect mysterious women. "I don't know if I can do this," he whispered. The calm woman placed a hand on the arm of his chair. "Your uncle didn't think he could do it either, not at first." "What changed?" Aaron asked. "He stayed," she said. "He learned, he tried, and in time he understood that the cabin chose him because he had a good heart, not because he had special powers." Aaron looked at her carefully. "Are you saying the cabin chose me?" She nodded. "Yes." Aaron felt a strange sensation, fear mixed with purpose, confusion mixed with curiosity. He didn't know if he could be like his uncle. He didn't know if he was brave enough or wise enough. But he did know one thing: running away would only leave these women, the guardians his uncle protected, without a home. The cheerful woman approached him with a gentle smile. "You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to understand everything today. You just have to stay with us tonight." The golden-haired woman added, "If you stay, the barrier will grow stronger again, at least for now." Aaron looked at the serious woman, who gave a small nod of agreement. Then he looked at the shy woman, who whispered, "We believe in you." Aaron breathed in slowly. "Okay," he whispered, "I'll stay." The moment he said it, the cabin seemed to relax. The air inside grew warmer, the fire grew brighter. The 5 women shared quiet smiles of relief, but the peace did not last long. The howl came again, closer this time. Everyone looked at the window again. The calm woman said softly, "Tonight will be long." Aaron tightened his grip on the chair. He wasn't ready. But for the first time, he wanted to try. Aaron felt the air inside the cabin grow heavy after the second howl faded into silence. It was not loud this time, just deep and distant, like a reminder that something outside was watching, waiting, and slowly coming closer. The fire flickered in the fireplace, and the warm light danced across the walls, but even that warm glow could not completely push away the tension filling the room. The 5 women stood together, though each reacted in her own way. The serious woman kept her eyes on the window, alert like a guard. The calm woman stayed near Aaron, making sure he didn't feel alone. The golden-haired woman tightened her ponytail and took a deep breath, preparing herself for whatever might come. The cheerful woman pushed her spoon into a pot of soup again, pretending to focus on cooking even though her hands were slightly unsteady. The shy woman sat near one of the chairs, her fingers gently touching the wooden armrest, trying to control her quiet fear. Aaron looked at all of them and swallowed. He didn't know any of their names yet. He didn't know where they came from, what they truly were, or what exactly lived in the forest. Yet somehow he already felt responsible for them. Maybe it was because his uncle had protected them for so long. Maybe it was because they looked to him with expectation and trust. Or maybe it was because his own heart wouldn't let him walk away from people who clearly needed help. What should I do now?" he asked quietly, breaking the silence. The serious woman turned from the window. Her voice remained firm but kinder than before. "The first thing you must do is stay calm. The cabin listens to your emotions. If you panic, the barrier weakens. If you stay steady, it becomes stronger." Aaron blinked. "The cabin listens?" The calm woman nodded. "It responds to the owner's heart. We don't fully know how it works, but your uncle had a gentle heart. That helped the cabin stay strong." "My heart feels like it's beating too fast to help anything," Aaron admitted. The shy woman spoke softly. "It's okay. Even fear is normal. What matters is your intention." Aaron took a slow breath and tried to relax his shoulders. It wasn't easy, but he tried. The serious woman gave a small nod, acknowledging his effort. The golden-haired woman walked over and placed a wooden box on the table in front of him. It looked old, covered in carved patterns and symbols he didn't recognize. "Your uncle left this for you," she said. "He told us to give it to you on the night you arrived." Aaron reached out slowly, his fingers brushing the surface of the box. The wood felt warm under his touch, almost alive. "Did he ever open it?" "No," the calm woman said. "He said it was meant only for the next guardian." Aaron swallowed as he lifted the lid. Inside the box were several items. Aaron stared at the letter for several seconds before picking it up. His hands shook a little. He took a deep breath and opened it. The letter was short. "Aaron, I felt the same when the cabin chose me many years ago. But you are stronger than you think and kinder than you realize. The cabin will trust you, and so will they. Protect them, protect the balance of the forest, and trust the stone. It will guide you when you do not know what to do. Your uncle Aaron finished the letter and lowered it slowly. His breath felt shaky, and his eyes stung with emotion he had not expected. He wasn't very close to his uncle, but the words felt warm, sincere, almost like a gentle hand on his back telling him, "You're not alone." "What is the stone?" Aaron asked. The cheerful woman leaned over the table, looking at the small, smooth object. "The stone reacts to danger," she explained. "It glows when the forest's balance is threatened. It also helps strengthen the barrier," the serious woman added. "Your uncle used it often." Aaron picked up the stone carefully. It felt cool at first, then warmed in his hand as if it recognized him. It didn't glow, but it hummed very softly like a sleeping creature stirring. "So what do I do with it?" he asked. "Hold it when the time feels right," the calm woman said. "It will tell you." Aaron almost laughed. "Tell me it's a rock," the cheerful woman giggled. "You will see, it is more than a rock." Aaron placed the stone back into the wooden box for now. He didn't know how to use it yet, and the idea of a stone telling him anything felt unbelievable. Still, the way it warmed up in his hand made him wonder how much of his old world he needed to let go of to understand this new one. Another gentle sound came from outside, not a howl this time, but a whisper of wind moving through the trees. The serious woman walked back to the window, her eyes narrowing. "Something is getting closer." Aaron walked closer to her but stayed a respectful distance away. "Is it dangerous?" "Not directly," she replied, "but it can weaken the barrier further. If the barrier falls, then danger can come." The golden-haired woman stood behind them. "The barrier weakens when there is fear, doubt, or confusion. It responds to the emotions of the land and the people in it." "So I need to be calm?" Aaron asked, trying to control his breathing again. "Yes," the calm woman said gently from behind him, "but not only you, all of us." The cheerful woman nodded. "We must focus together." The shy woman added, "It is strongest when we are united." Aaron turned to face them. "Can you show me what to do?" The 5 women exchanged glances, then nodded. The calm woman stepped forward and took his hand lightly, guiding him to the center of the room. The others formed a circle around them, leaving space for Aaron to stand in the middle. It felt strange, but also strangely comforting. The serious woman placed her hand over her heart. "We focus on peace," she said. "On safety, on harmony, everything the cabin stands for." The golden-haired woman closed her eyes. "Imagine the cabin glowing, imagine it shining with warm light." The cheerful woman smiled softly. "Imagine this place as a home you want to protect." The shy woman whispered, "Imagine us all safe." Aaron looked around at them. Their faces were calm, gentle, trusting. He took a deep breath and tried to follow their instructions. He imagined the cabin glowing, its wooden walls shining with soft, golden light, spreading warmth through the rooms and pushing back the darkness outside. He imagined the forest calming, the trees standing tall and steady, the air light and peaceful. He imagined the 5 women safe, smiling, living without fear. The calm woman spoke softly, "Good, keep going." Aaron felt his chest loosen, his heartbeat slowing. The room felt warmer, almost glowing just like the image in his mind. Then the wooden box on the table began to hum softly. Aaron opened his eyes in surprise. The flat stone inside glowed with a faint, gentle light, pale and soft, like moonlight reflected on water. The shy woman whispered, "It's working." The serious woman gave a small smile. "The barrier grows stronger." Aaron stared at the stone, mesmerized. "I didn't do anything." "You believed," the calm woman said. "That is enough." Before Aaron could speak again, a sudden knock echoed through the cabin. Soft, slow, deliberate, every person in the room froze. The cheerful woman's smile disappeared. The shy woman gasped quietly. The serious woman stepped toward the door immediately. The golden-haired woman grabbed the back of a chair, preparing herself. The calm woman moved closer to Aaron. "Someone or something is at the door," she whispered. Aaron stared at the door, his breath caught in his throat. The knocking came again, 3 slow taps, each separated by long, heavy silence. He swallowed. "Is it the thing from the forest?" "No," the serious woman said quietly. "It doesn't knock." Aaron blinked. "Then who is it?" "We don't know," the calm woman admitted. The cheerful woman whispered, "But whoever it is came before the barrier fully strengthened." The serious woman placed her hand on the doorknob. Everyone held their breath. Aaron felt the warm glow of the stone behind him. The door creaked open. And someone was standing there. The door opened slowly, and cool night air slipped into the cabin. The serious woman kept her hand on the doorknob while the others stayed close behind Aaron, forming a quiet protective circle around him. Aaron stared at the figure standing in the doorway, unsure what to expect. He expected a wild animal, a lost traveler, or maybe even someone from the town nearby. But the person standing there surprised him so much that he could only blink. It was an old man. He looked around 70, perhaps older. His shoulders were slightly bent with age, and he wore a long brown coat that reached down to his boots. His hair was silver-white, and his eyes, sharp, bright, and strangely familiar, studied each of them one by one. He stood with calmness, like someone who had walked these forest paths for many years and knew every sound the wind made. The serious woman narrowed her eyes. "Who are you?" she asked firmly. The old man gave a soft smile, gentle yet tired. "A friend," he said. "At least I used to be." The calm woman stepped forward cautiously, her voice polite but wary. "Do we know you?" "Not personally," the old man said. "But I knew the guardian before you, the one who came before your protector, and long before this young man inherited the cabin." Aaron's heart skipped. "You knew my uncle." The old man's eyes softened when he looked at him. "Very well," he said. "Your uncle trusted me once. We worked together for many years to keep this cabin safe." The golden-haired woman spoke next, her tone sharp. "If that is true, then why have we never seen you before now?" The old man sighed deeply. "Because I went far away after a mistake I made long ago, a mistake that caused great trouble for the cabin and for your uncle. I had no right to come close again until tonight." Aaron felt a strange tug in his chest. The man's voice felt sincere. He didn't sense danger, but he sensed something heavy, like the man carried years of regret. The shy woman stepped forward hesitantly. "If you knew the old guardian, why come now?" The man took a slow breath and answered softly, "Because the forest whispered to me. It told me the new guardian had arrived, and it told me that the barrier is weakening." Everyone in the room stiffened at his words. The cheerful woman looked at the serious one. "How does he know about the barrier?" "Because," the old man said gently, "I helped build it." A silence followed, long, uncertain, and full of questions. Aaron felt a jolt of shock. "You built it? You mean the magical boundary around the forest?" The old man nodded slowly. "Not alone. Your uncle strengthened it daily, but I was there when it was first created." The serious woman kept her eyes on him. "If your words are true, then tell us why the barrier is weakening now." The old man stepped inside the cabin carefully, respecting the boundary of the room as if asking for silent permission. "Because the forest senses a change," he said. "The cabin has a new owner, and it is trying to adjust to him. A guardian change always causes a little imbalance at first." Aaron took a step closer. "So this is because of me?" "In part," the man said gently, "but not in a bad way. It will stabilize soon if you learn to connect with the cabin." Aaron blinked. "Connect? I barely understand what's going on." "That is exactly why you need guidance," the old man replied, "just as your uncle needed guidance many years ago." The calm woman exchanged a glance with the serious one. "If he was truly your friend," she said quietly, "then you must know how much he protected us." "I do," the man whispered. His gaze softened. "And I am ashamed I was not here to help him during his last years, but I am here now to help the next guardian." Aaron studied him for a moment. The man didn't seem harmful. His eyes looked honest, almost sad. And something about his presence felt strangely familiar, like a memory Aaron didn't know he had. The serious woman stepped aside slightly, giving him room to enter. "Come inside," she said, though her voice remained careful. "But any wrong move and we will stop you." "I would expect nothing less," the old man replied warmly. He stepped into the cabin and the door closed behind him. Inside, the fire crackled softly, and the room felt warmer again. The old man removed his coat and folded it neatly on the back of a chair. The cheerful woman quickly served him a cup of tea, though she watched him closely while doing so. The shy woman stood behind Aaron, peeking nervously. The golden-haired woman leaned against the wall, arms folded, observing every move the old man made. The calm woman led Aaron to the chair beside the fireplace. "Sit," she said gently. The old man sat across from him. "You must have many questions." "I do," Aaron said, "starting with what exactly is the barrier, and why is something trying to reach the cabin tonight?" The old man nodded slowly. "The barrier is not a physical wall." It is a field of energy that protects the forest, the cabin, and the guardians living here. It keeps out harmful forces and keeps the balance of nature calm. Aaron leaned forward. And my uncle made it stronger every day? Yes, the man said. Your uncle had a patient, peaceful heart. The cabin responded to him. Responded, Aaron repeated, like how it reacts to my emotions. Exactly, the old man said. This cabin is not ordinary wood and stone. It is connected to the forest's spirit. It listens. It learns. It remembers. Aaron felt goosebumps on his arms. The calm woman added, we've seen it happen. The cabin reacts to kindness, fear, hope, and worry. And tonight, Aaron whispered. The serious woman answered him. Tonight it responds to uncertainty. The forest is testing the new guardian. The golden-haired woman added, it always happens when a new guardian arrives. Aaron swallowed hard, and the sound we heard earlier, the howling. The old man closed his eyes for a moment. That was not a creature, he said quietly. That was the forest calling out. Aaron froze. The forest howling. Yes, the man said. The forest communicates through sound, wind, and energy. The howl was a warning. Something is approaching the forest's edge, and the barrier knew it. Aaron felt a chill, but not of fear, more of awe. But what is approaching? The man opened his eyes slowly. Not something terrible, he said, but something curious, a presence that does not understand the balance of this place. It wants to enter not out of harm, but out of confusion. The shy woman relaxed a little. So it's not dangerous. Not directly, the old man replied. But it can cause imbalance. Even harmless energy can become harmful if it pushes too strongly against the barrier. Aaron nodded slowly, trying to absorb everything. So what do I need to do? The old man leaned forward. You must learn to guide the cabin's energy. You must let the cabin trust you. Trust me, Aaron asked. Like a living thing. In many ways, the calm woman said, it is alive. The cheerful woman added, it senses your warmth and your worry. The old man smiled. Your uncle learned slowly, but he learned well. He trusted the cabin, and it trusted him. Aaron looked down at his hands. I'm not sure I can do this. The calm woman placed her hand gently on his arm. You already started, Aaron. When you stood with us earlier, when the stone glowed, that was the cabin responding to you. Aaron looked up, surprised. That was me. All of us, the serious woman corrected. But you were at the center. The old man nodded. And that is why I came tonight, to show you the next step. Aaron swallowed. What is the next step? The old man reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small wooden map. It was carved with symbols similar to the box his uncle had left for him. He unfolded it carefully on the table. This, the man said, is the map of the boundary lines, the places where the barrier touches the physical world. Aaron leaned closer, and the 5 women gathered around the table. The map showed circles, lines, and shapes that looked more like patterns than roads or paths. The golden-haired woman pointed. These are the anchor points. The shy woman whispered, these are the places we protect. And this, the old man said, pointing to a circle in the center, is the cabin, the heart of the boundary. Aaron stared at the map. So what now? You will take the stone, the man said gently, and walk to the first anchor point. You must let the forest sense you as the new guardian. Aaron's eyes widened. Tonight? Yes, the man said, because the presence outside is already near the first anchor point. You must reach it before the barrier thins too much. The calm woman touched Aaron's shoulder. We will go with you. All 5 of us, the cheerful woman said. Aaron felt nervous but also strangely ready. He looked at the old man. And you? The man smiled sadly. I will guide you as far as I can. Aaron stood, picking up the glowing stone from the wooden box. It shimmered faintly in his hand. The old man nodded. Good, the stone already recognizes you. The serious woman opened the door again. Cool night air flowed in, carrying the soft sound of rustling leaves. Aaron stepped forward, the 5 women beside him and the old man behind them. The forest waited, and the first anchor point was calling. The forest was dark, yet alive. Every leaf, every branch, every faint rustle seemed to hold a secret, and the path to the first anchor point twisted deeper into the trees than Aaron had ever imagined. He held the glowing stone tightly in his hand, its warmth pulsing gently, almost like it had a heartbeat of its own. The stone's light was soft but steady, illuminating the path ahead just enough to see the uneven roots and fallen leaves. The 5 women moved silently beside him. Their presence was comforting, even as the wind whispered through the treetops. Aaron felt both nervous and excited. He had never done anything like this in his life, and yet somehow it felt right. His uncle's words echoed in his mind. You are stronger than you think and kinder than you realize. The serious woman led the way. Her eyes scanned every shadow, every movement, as if she could sense even the smallest disturbance. The calm woman stayed close to Aaron, whispering encouragement. Remember to focus, she said softly. The forest will respond to your intention. Aaron took a deep breath and tried to steady his thoughts. He imagined the cabin glowing warmly behind him, the trees standing tall and still, and the 5 women safe. He pictured the forest calm and balanced. He could feel the stone growing slightly warmer in his hand. It hummed softly, a comforting sound that matched his own heartbeat. They walked in silence for several minutes, each step careful, until the trees opened into a small clearing. In the center stood a large, flat rock surrounded by moss. Aaron knew instinctively this was the first anchor point. The air here felt different, still heavy and expectant. The old man stepped forward and placed a hand on the rock. This is where you begin, he said. Focus on the stone, let it guide your energy into the forest. Feel the barrier strengthening as you connect with it. Aaron held the stone over the flat rock. It pulsed brighter, and he felt a strange warmth travel up his arm into his chest and spread through his entire body. He closed his eyes and pictured the cabin, the forest, the 5 women, and the harmony that must be protected. He imagined a soft golden light spreading from the stone into the ground, reaching every root, every tree, and every creature. The women formed a circle around him, placing their hands near the ground as if lending their own energy to the process. The calm woman whispered, Together we strengthen the barrier. Aaron focused. He let go of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. He concentrated only on peace, on protection, and on the trust he felt from his uncle and these women. Slowly, a soft glow began to spread outward from the stone, lighting up the clearing with a gentle, golden shimmer. The old man smiled. Good, keep steady. Suddenly, the stone pulsed brighter, and a gentle wave of energy rose from the rock into the trees. Aaron opened his eyes and gasped. The forest seemed to move in response. The leaves swayed, the branches stretched slightly, and even the distant rustling sounded calmer, more harmonious. The glow spread further, like sunlight breaking through a thick canopy, filling every shadow with warmth. The cheerful woman smiled. It's working, she said softly. The golden-haired woman nodded, her eyes shining with relief. The barrier is strengthening. The serious woman stepped closer to Aaron. Focus on the intention, not the outcome, she advised. The forest responds to your heart, not your fear. Aaron took another deep breath. He let go completely, trusting in the cabin, the stone, and the forest itself. The light from the stone pulsed steadily now, and he could feel the forest's energy intertwining with his own. It was a strange, powerful sensation, like becoming part of something much larger than himself, a rhythm and flow that connected everything around him. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. The old man watched quietly, the women lending their presence, guiding the energy with patience and care. Aaron's heart slowed, and the nervous tension that had weighed on him since the cabin seemed to lift, replaced by a calm clarity he had never known. Finally, the stone dimmed slightly, settling into a steady, gentle glow. Aaron opened his eyes fully. The clearing felt serene, alive, but peaceful. A soft breeze whispered through the trees, almost like a quiet sigh of relief. It is done, the old man said. The first anchor point is secure. The barrier grows stronger now. Aaron exhaled, feeling a wave of pride and relief. He looked at the 5 women. They were smiling, some with quiet satisfaction, some with gentle pride, but all radiating trust and warmth. He realized something important. This was not about power, magic, or danger. It was about care, attention, and intention. It was about believing that he could make a difference, even in a place that felt mysterious and intimidating. The calm woman stepped forward and touched his arm. You did well, Aaron. You are beginning to understand the role of a guardian. The cheerful woman grinned. You'll get stronger with every anchor point, and soon you will feel completely at home here. Aaron felt a mix of exhaustion and excitement. How many more anchor points are there? He asked. The golden-haired woman unrolled the map again. There are 3 more for tonight. The others can wait until the next full moon, but we focus on one at a time, step by step. The serious woman nodded. Tonight, we strengthen the connection between you and the forest. The rest will follow naturally if we continue like this. Aaron felt a warmth spread through him, not just from the stone, but from the trust the women placed in him and the connection he felt to the cabin and the forest. He realized that he had come a long way, from feeling confused and unprepared to stepping into responsibility with courage. The old man stood and looked around. You have learned the first lesson, that guardianship is not about power or control. It is about care, focus, and trust. Keep these lessons in mind, they will guide you through the future. Aaron nodded slowly. I understand, he said, though he still felt the weight of the responsibility, but it no longer felt impossible. It felt like a challenge he could meet. The forest around them seemed to settle. Even the distant sounds of rustling leaves and small creatures moving in the undergrowth felt calm and balanced. Aaron realized the forest was listening to him now, just as the cabin had been listening in the morning. The calm woman smiled. Come back to the cabin, rest. You have done well tonight, and the forest will continue to grow stronger as you sleep. Aaron followed the women back through the forest, the glowing stone safely in his hand. Each step felt lighter, more confident. He could feel the energy of the forest and the cabin working together, a quiet partnership that he was slowly becoming part of. When they reached the cabin, the old man paused at the door. I will leave you now, he said. Your uncle's spirit watches over you. And now the forest watches too. You are ready. Aaron looked at him. Thank you, he said quietly, for helping me understand. The old man nodded, a gentle smile on his face. It was always meant to be your journey, Aaron. I only guided you to the first step. Trust yourself for the rest. He stepped into the forest and disappeared into the night, leaving only the sound of leaves moving gently in the breeze. Inside the cabin, the 5 women stood around Aaron, their expressions warm and encouraging. The serious woman spoke softly. You have begun your role as the new guardian. This is only the start, but you are learning quickly. The calm woman added, rest now. Tomorrow will bring more lessons, and the forest will continue to respond to you. The cheerful woman placed a cup of warm tea in front of him. You earned this, the golden-haired woman smiled. And remember, we are here for you. The shy woman looked at him quietly. We believe in you, Aaron. Aaron held the glowing stone and looked around at the women. He felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. He was no longer just the nephew of a man who owned a cabin. He was the new guardian, chosen by the cabin, the forest, and the trust of those who lived there. For the first time, he felt a connection to something bigger than himself. He understood that his journey was only beginning, but he also knew he was not alone. As he placed the stone back on the table, its light pulsing softly, he smiled. The cabin felt warmer, safer, and full of promise. The forest outside whispered gently through the trees. He realized that this was not the end of a story, but the beginning of a life filled with purpose, wonder, and quiet adventure. And for the first time, Aaron felt truly at home.